there was a big scandal this past week when all of a sudden a Medicare for All event was hijacked, apparently, and a literal neo Nazi was announced as being a speaker at one of the various satellite events. The actual organization is called, it's very new. It's from just regular, ordinary activists. The March for Medicare for All. They are putting together a multiple city march, and on their social media channels, they announced this past week that Matthew H. Beck was going to be the keynote speaker at an event, at one of the events. And now, for those of you who don't know, and there was a picture of him that was plastered up there too, Matthew H. Beck, looking at the photo, you would know right away that it was Matthew Heimbeck, a prominent neo-Nazi. It seems to be muddled about what actually occurred. According to reporting, and I saw a great story from Kelly Weil, has been a guest on the show in the Daily Beast on this. It seems like someone got into their private chat channel on Slack, announced these speakers to one of their graphic designers, who then went ahead and created the graphics. And then these graphics somehow got posted to the social media channels to announce that this neo-Nazi was going to be one of the guest speakers at a March for Medicare for All. Then there was a bunch of drama where people were knocking the March for Medicare for All organizers, and then the March for Medicare for All organizers started arguing with those people, saying, how can you say something, how could you knock or dunk on people who are trying to put this together? I tried to stay out of this. I tried to stay out of this, and I did. I mean, I didn't want to be a part of this internal drama here. But I do want to speak out against, not against, I do want to speak out about what I think should be the takeaway here. Yes, I know that the March for Medicare for All seems to be organized by a number of fans of or members of a specific faction on the left that, myself and other people like the Majority Report and TYT and the Humanist Report and Rational National and whoever butts heads with. This seems to be an event that's being put together by Force the Vote people, by fans of Jimmy Dore. It's fine. I mean, I don't have an issue with that. In fact, I encourage anyone to get active about pushing Medicare for All. I was on the Humanist Report's first panel show, Dystopian Times, with someone involved with the March for Medicare for All. She was on the panel, and she had a really, Joy Savage, I believe her name was, and she had a real moving, touching story about her own medical issues. And she did give me a little mention when she said how the Force the Vote people involved. I didn't say anything because I felt like her story was more important. So I let that go. But yeah, I thought her story was very touching, and I support any sort of activism to push for Medicare for All. This March for Medicare for All seems legit and fine, and I encourage people to look into it if they're interested. I don't think people should dunk on them, honestly. I don't think. I think it's unhelpful. Yes, it seems like they are inexperienced in this stuff and unorganized, which, offer a critique, sure. Offer advice, sure. But I'm not going to knock people who are putting this together. I'm not going to do that. Um, on the other end, I have been advocating for these very people who are who were involved in this and got rolled by these trolls who promoted Matthew Heimbeck, and fooled them with that. I have implored them to please, please, please stop downplaying the right, to understand at the very least who these people are, and know that they are not your friends as they go about pushing for some alliance with, they say, a top-bottom alliance, how everyone, left, right, center, needs to get together and fight the powers that be. Well, the fact of the matter is that not everyone who you view as being in your same class, societal class or economic class, is going to be on your side. We see that. We see that. You cannot befriend some of these people. You can try to reach out and bring them to your side, but what I see a lot of is you guys bringing these people onto different platforms and then letting them promote their views instead of trying to convince them to come to your side. And it's just unhelpful. I've seen these many of these same people downplay the role the far right plays in making sure a lot of what they want doesn't happen for some reason. I've seen the downplaying of what happened on January 6th. I implore you to please take this seriously. You guys just got undermined by, and it seems like signs are pointing to, and this seems to be just speculation right now, but signs are pointed to someone in the Boogaloo movement being the person who trolled them. The movement that a lot of these people have been reaching out to, Boogaloo Boys, which I've warned them about, seems to have been the one who trolled them with the Matthew Heimbeck thing and tried to undermine what they're putting together. I don't know what it's gonna take for you guys just to understand, like, not everyone is gonna be your friend. Not everyone's gonna be on your side, and you should get to know that there are forces on the right that are you cannot align with. You cannot have an allyship with. So the short is, I'm not going to dunk on anyone advocating for Medicare for all. They all have their stories. They all have their reasons for doing it, for going about it the way they go about it. I'm not talking, for people who are dropping different names in the chat, I'm not talking about major names. I'm talking about just ordinary, regular people trying to put this together, who are probably the fans of the people you're talking about. I'm not going to get into the influencers in that space and the names in that space. But keep doing what you're doing in terms of putting this stuff together. Keep advocating for Medicare for all. Please take from this that maybe what I've been warning you guys about has some merit to it. I mean, it does, but maybe, I'm saying for you, maybe you should look into it. You should get to know these people. You should get to know that these are not going to be people on your side. And that way you can protect your movement from it. They're going to undermine what you want at every step of the game. They don't want Medicare for all. Medicare for all requires more government. You should realize that. If you're an anti-government person, you don't want Medicare for all. And if you want Medicare for all and you're an anti-government person, please explain to me who you think provides the Medicare for all. So there's a lot of people on the right you will not convince on Medicare for all. So you cannot align with them. They're not going to fight with you.